Hello everyone out there in internet land. This is episode 27 of Stop the Damn Match, the most incredibly craptacular wrestling podcast on the internet. I'm your host, Phil Lamington. Seated to my left is a man who, he's pulling double duty like me. It's JB. JB, how are you, my friend?
Good, man. I'm good. Back to back buddies.
Yeah, you don't have to edit these things.
Yeah, no, sucks to be
Lucky,
you.
yeah, lucky you. Seated to my right, making his return because he enjoyed it the last couple of times he's been on here, is the Yellow Devil Shogo. How are you going, my friend?
Minasan konbanwa. I'm doing pretty good.
English, dude. We got English listeners.
I do speak fucking English.
We don't have subtitles in audio.
Actually, there are captions. We can put captions on it.
Yes.
In Japanese, please.
I was going to put it in Korean.
Didn't we do that to your PlayStation once?
It's Xbox.
I'm still dirty about that.
That was brilliant.
I think I got it to Arabic and
Same difference.
Yeah. No. Like I went from Korean to Arabic, and now I am sort of lost. I think it's in. I think now, last I checked, it's in Russian now. So I'm getting closer.
Now, seated behind me is series regular Shay. How are you, Shay?
Not too bad, not too bad.
And you might have heard another voice making his long-awaited return. I think he hasn't been with us since the Royal Rumble.
It's like that.
It's Tim. Tim, welcome back.
Howdy yo. Hey yo.
Tim the librarian. Tim the law master.
Tim the librarian. And much like in the Transformers animated movie, they had the universal greeting, which was Bar Weep Grana Weep Ninibong.
Ba we brought up bong.
Tim, our universal greeting is, hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Right, so we just finished watching the 2023 WWE Survivor Series. War Games. Because you've got to put that in and really flog it every moment.
Yeah, like Ruffles and Slim Jims, right?
Yeah. Ruffles and Slim Jims.
Oh, God.
Lovely.
Together at last.
It's like a tag team.
Peas and gum together at last.
And then once that tag team starts to get over, one of them's got to turn heel and split the tag team up. Because you just can't have a tag team for a long time in WWE.
No one's allowed to be happy for a long time.
Right, so we're going to jump straight into it. The first match was the Women's War Games match between the teams of Damage Control, which was Bayley, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and the WWE Women's Champion Io Sky, versus Charlotte Flair, The Man Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Shotzi. Now, I'm not going to go through the blow-by-blow because we'll be here for hours. But so it started off with Becky and Bayley. Shotzi entered. Then Io Sky entered. Then Bianca Belair entered. Then Kairi Sane entered. Charlotte entered. And then Asuka was the last person to enter the match. And then became War Games. And off we go. The very end of the match, Bayley took all the finishes. And she copped a manhandle slam from the second rope through a table from Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch pinned her, got the 1, 2, 3. So we're going to start with JB. JB, what were your thoughts on the match?
It was okay. I really liked the flying trash can spot for the second year in a row, even though it was a little bit telegraphed. But I did like the way they got the trash can up there using the chain. That was pretty cool. But yeah, it was good. It was good physicality, and Bayley looked really good. So I'm gonna bump it. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 just because Bayley looked really good.
Shogo?
As we all know, I'm not a huge fan of Bianca Belair. I think she's shit. She's not as shit as Naomi, though, so I'll give her that.
Oh, Trinity.
Or Nia Jax.
Oh, God. Please, for God's sake, no.
Trinity, formerly known as Naomi, is the Impact Knockouts Women's Champion.
Okay, remind me never to watch Impact ever again.
But at the next pay-per-view, she's facing Mickie James for the title.
I don't see how that's relevant, but okay.
Just saying.
Yeah, sorry, Phil. You must have mistaken me for somebody who gives a shit.
I thought you did.
Anyway, bottom line, Bianca Belair, no good. However, as we all know, I am a huge Asuka fan. And the fact that Kairi Sane was also in there, just added to the thing, and the fact that they are all Japanese does not have anything to do with it at all.
It just made him go doing, doing.
Feel like you're being a little bit biased here.
Japan #1.
Yuki Tsunoda, #1 driver.
I don't watch F1. I don't know what you're on about. But no, I thought it was half decent. It is probably one of the better women's matches that I've seen in a while, because I know we normally fast forward through them, or we take smoke breaks, or whatever it is we do when a women's match comes on. This was actually.
Or I still sit there and watch it and take notes because someone fucking has to.
Well, this is your podcast. It's your job.
It's all our podcast. What's your score?
I
Talk about the match.
give it 3 out of 5.
Right. Tim.
Yeah, look, I guess. Yeah, I agree. Bianca's kind of shit. I'll give credit. The hair whips actually made a noise, so I'll give that credit. If you're gonna fucking do a hair gimmick, put something in there. Maybe like a piece of
She breaks skin.
I know. Well, but does she?
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it just someone whipping me with hair doesn't fucking scare me, but Missy Hyatt with a loaded boot scares the fuck out of me. And if she had loaded it, if you're gonna do the pigtail gimmick, load the pigtails up, make a gimmick out of it. Fuck it, I don't know. I'll give that a little bit of credit. Look, it was an alright match. Yeah, the Asian girls actually looked pretty good. Was it Io in the match?
Yeah.
EO was the one who wore the trash can.
Yeah, when she first came in, her first little power run, build up was pretty spectacular. I'll give her credit. Nailed the shit out of it. But, man, like Shogo said, I don't know what you said. Well, I'm going to go with 3.
Japan #1.
Yeah, look, I'm a Meltzer guy, so of course it's if it was in Japan, it would have been a 5-star match. But unfortunately, we just had a little bit of a Japanese takeaway, so I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Basically,
We just visited Yatai Sushi at K-Land.
Yeah.
It's not exactly
Just
Tokyo.
And it's been about half an hour, so I'm already hungry again.
yeah, well, I'll eat you.
So it was a 3.
Yeah, that's a hard 3.
Right, Shay.
Had some pretty good spots. Like Io and Kairi are brilliant high flyers, which suits them for this type of match, as well as it practically being a hardcore match for both of the War Games matches. I would like to see more actual Survivor Series Eliminator matches, but with one War Games match, not 2. 2's a bit too much, but that's my opinion. I agree with the Bianca being shit. There's no charisma. She just has nothing. Yeah, sure, she's a powerhouse. So is Jade Cargill. Both of them got something in common. They got nothing going for them.
What, they're black?
That too.
Strong black women. Maybe they should be a tag team.
I mean, but they just need something to give them some type of storyline or something to actually not so much push them, but they just need something that people can connect with. At the moment, they got nothing. That's why Io and Kairi are so well liked, and even Bayley. She has that inbuilt charisma. People loved her, then she turned on her. Now people hate her, but they still sort of love her because they hate her.
Yeah, the match felt like it didn't have much going for it.
That's exactly right. There wasn't much in the way of
If
story
anything,
at all.
Bayley's going to come out strong from it because she took everyone's finisher.
Exactly. I'll give it a 3 as well.
She didn't take my finisher.
Wait,
Are you
get in
two?
line.
Are you two going to fight over another girl again?
Oh, it's
Does
out.
Alexa Bliss know that you two are arguing over some other girl?
She's married and pregnant. I don't think we're fighting over her anymore.
Alexa
Sugar
Bliss
can
is
have
about to push a
Asuka.
watermelon out.
And JB can have Io.
Alexa Bliss gives birth to a plastic hand with a rubber glove on it.
At least she's well protected.
Pretty sure I did quote that during the match that Mae Young's aborted hand was rolling over in its grave due to some of the things that I saw. But
Yeah, you
that's
did
just
say that.
That was a statement here tonight.
Yeah, yep, truthful. So my
I'm
thought-
old school, sorry. Give me Mae Young's hand any day.
Well, my general thoughts on the match. It was a solid match, but something that detracted it for me was logic was lost at times, particularly when, like, I think it was, I think Bailey was trying to escape out of the cage, and they climbed up and dragged her into the ring. It's just like if she'd escaped from the cage, they would have won by forfeit. So why not just let her climb out?
That probably is more an indictment of all of wrestling today, but yes, very, very well pointed out.
I think that the MVPs were the three Japanese wrestlers, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I thought they really sort of carried the weight of the match.
Yep.
And Bailey.
And Bailey, yeah, 100%.
Bailey took all the finishes at
Becky
the end. Like,
nailed it, and Bailey's
which
being
means
billed
she
for
was the
another run,
threat.
clearly.
But also, the reason why Bailey took all the finishes is that in the storyline, she is actually slowly getting pushed out of Damage Control.
Yeah, right.
building
Io
to
You know, this match happened,
a
and we
four-show run where she fights every motherfucker in the group. Yeah, which is good.
didn't even mention Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch at all,
No.
and they were both in this match.
I mean, Charlotte Flair did that massive moonsault off the top where she cracked Io Sky in the squash.
Yeah. But I mean, they were both in this match, both as ex-champions.
Yeah.
And not a single mention. Like, that's how flat and sort of listless this match was.
I was going to say, I completely forgot they were in there.
Yeah, they were in there.
Could have been
Well,
pre-show.
My final note is that it was, there was a couple of good spots, but there was nothing truly memorable about this match.
Nope.
It was kind of like the equivalent of going and watching Terminator Dark Fate at the movies. Like, you watched it, and then by the time I got to the lobby of the cinema, I couldn't remember anything about the match that was worth giving a shit about. And I think that was pretty much about it, but I still gave it a 3.5.
You gave it a higher score than everyone else, despite
Yeah.
not enjoying it.
Well, it wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. It's just it was not memorable. There was,
It will not live long in the annals.
it was the equivalent of making yourself a sandwich and eating it, and you just go, yeah, I've had a sandwich. Off I go on my day.
Didn't need to be in the cell. It could have just been a great women's Survivor Series match, and it would have just really been fine, and we wouldn't have wasted 10 minutes at the beginning dropping a cell.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So the next match was for the Intercontinental Championship between the champion Gunther from Imperium and The Miz. And it was a fairly decent match. Like, there was a couple of moments where Miz sort of took low blows and very sort of cheap tactics to try and level the playing field of going against possibly the greatest Intercontinental Champion of the modern era. Modern era, not of all time. Not of all time.
I stand by my cop.
But, in the last 10 years, then. How about that?
Let me Google the last 10 years. I bet I can find 10 more.
The librarian's coming for your statement.
I could tell you who's been Intercontinental Champion in the last 10 years. Seth Rollins,
Done.
Dean
Yeah.
Ambrose,
Yep,
Roman Reigns.
That was
Fair
a bigger
enough.
draw.
Miz.
That was a bigger draw. That was a bigger draw.
The statement's dead in the water there. Okay.
Gunther.
All three members of the Shield who
Gunther
all
with
went on
these
to become
atrophied
world
arms.
champions.
Yeah, Gunther with these atrophied arms will not be world champ anytime in the next 10 years. But that's cool. Let's keep going.
He could
That's
still
fine.
release his own cologne. I mean, the logo of Imperium just screams, use me as a cologne. Just think about it.
I'm sold. No, I'm sold. As I said, I'm sold on that. Sorry, Rick Martel as the manager, best gimmick ever. But putting it out there.
Right. So
I'll buy them.
I'll buy it too.
At the end of the match, Gunther locked in a modified lion tamer onto The Miz, and Miz tapped out. Gunther retains the Intercontinental Championship via submission. Shogo, what were your thoughts on the match, and give me a score?
Okay, I'd give it a 3. It was really enjoyable, not memorable, but I still like the psychology behind it. The fact that Miz had to resort to slime ball tactics while still, saving face, say the least, it was actually believable. Just because, Gunther's meant to be this big powerhouse guy. There's no way Miz is going to win without Miz resorting to cheap tactics like that. Having said that, though, is this match memorable? No, I don't see. I don't see myself 10 years time going, oh, I remember that match between Gunther and Miz, and how awesome that was. Still, solid effort. 3 out of 5.
Shay?
This match had a lot more build, at least, than the War Games match. I actually quite liked the Miz saying, he's willing to go through any means necessary rather than trying to beat him in a normal one-on-one match, which, to me, from a story perspective at least, seemed like it was going to give him a better chance at beating Gunther, and it did. It actually felt like one of the closest matches Gunther's had, just because it was a different style. It wasn't just trying to out-wrestle him and then getting, powered over by
chopped to fuck.
Yeah, like endurance and then chopped over. But I quite liked it, and the ending was quite good with the way that he did the Boston Crab with the extra pressure, like making it nearly look like a lion tamer. Quite enjoyed it. I'd give it a 3.5, maybe even a 4. It's quite nice.
Go with 3.5.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Tim.
Yeah, look, I guess kind of what everyone said. It was great. It was good to see Miz. I will call it, he's probably the most underrated wrestler of the last 15, 20 years. I was the first to say, screw this guy from the real world, and his first 10, 15 years of his career, I've poo-pooed him so much. But honestly, knowing what he does, just in general, like work, he done what his job was tonight. His job was to get in there, make this guy who doesn't have muscles but is meant to be a monster look bigger than he was. He did. He done his job. I'll tip my hat. He gets a 4-star, but the match gets a 3-star from me. Honestly, I can't see the build of Gunther. I think I made the call of he needs some Hulk Hogan vitamins. Those are, again, like I said, chuck 100 pounds on him of muscle, and he is the next monster. He is the Russian destroyer. He is everything from the 80s that we were fearing. And it would be amazing. Yeah, exactly. He's Drago. He's every 80s villain.
I was going to say, why are you naming Russians? Isn't he German?
Oh,
He's
German.
He's Austrian.
European. They're all the same.
He's got the accent, mate.
They're the white version of Asian. They're all the same. Anyway, sorry. Oh, shit. This is recording. Anyway, that's all good. I have no shame.
It's okay. It's only me that gets demonetized.
That's okay. But no, honestly, I can't see him as the IC champion and the monster that they're building him to. I think that's a bit of a joke. But Miz absolutely made that a solid match by doing his job, taking the fall. He got told to take the L, and he done it well. He made it look believable, like what was said with the lion tail with the Boston Crab and the Tamer. He couldn't beat him with the Boston Crab. A bit of reality. Hey, cinch it in a bit harder, drop the knee on the back of the neck, instant win. So I'll give credit where credit's due. It was a great finish, but yeah, still a 3 from me is where I'm going to sit.
JB?
Yeah, same. 3 out of 5. I feel like I expected more from this match. It didn't really live up to anything. I guess the most surprising thing of this match was it was a submission finish, which I did not expect.
Not a finisher finish either.
Yeah,
It's not
I
his
honestly
thing.
expected Miz to try some underhanded crap, and then Gunther just to chop the crap out of him for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, we didn't see any, many
We saw
chops,
like 3
chops
chops,
from.
I think, but
Yeah, we didn't see, big, huge chops like
it
we
didn't go the
normally
way
do.
I thought it was, but I was pleasantly surprised with the submission finish.
And I think I'd like to think that's due to having an opponent that's willing to take a bump or two. Miz has been, when you really look through the last 20 years of Miz, he's been the ultimate team player. Like, again, I'm not going to say he's had 5-star matches or any of that sort of thing, but when you really look at it, he has worked his ass off and been a team player. He'll be the champion, but he'll also pass it on to the right person.
Yeah.
And tonight he made Gunther look good. I'm not a Gunther fan, but that looked like a great finish and a strong Gunther win.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what would have made it even better is if Mizdow came to save him.
Agreed.
So I gave the match a 3 as well. And I think this is going to be a recurring theme with all my comments on this one. It was a solid match. Nothing really stood out to this match except for one thing, which was a lack of Gunther chops. There wasn't many. And I mean, Gunther chops. When he chops you know it. And there was barely any. It was Miz doing chops.
Yeah.
And to me, that's part of the appeal of Gunther is his epic chops that he does that really make Flair's ones seem tame in comparison. And there was nothing in this. And if you take that key part of Gunther's arsenal away from him, you end up with a match like this where it was pretty bog standard.
It lacked something.
And I think it was those chops for that.
I think it did lack chops. Yeah, absolutely.
Miz did a really good job of using dirty tactics to try and get the win,
He played heel very well.
even though he wasn't the heel in the match. He was the
Well,
babyface.
Yeah.
But he knew he needed to do something in order to just simply survive.
Yeah.
But and I know the feud is continuing on because I watched Raw today, and I know the feud was continuing on. So, but yeah, it was a solid match, but it was just lacking something.
Chops.
Chops,
I think we've
pretty much.
narrowed down to
I think we established chops.
I just came to a realization. I think you'll find that
The lack of chops.
all the matches lacked something.
Yeah,
This was a really average pay-per-view.
Well, we're open to discussion, Shogo.
All right.
you know,
Not slapping the leg enough.
not yet though. Not yet.
Yeah, of course. I know the routine. I've done
So-
this long enough.
So the next match was Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar.
Yeah, forgettable. Whatever.
Straight on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please continue, Phil.
Chop in. Chop in.
I wanted the Santo Gold video. I just told everyone about it, and I wish it was that. I wish it was the AIDS hypodermic needle match. Just saying, would have been better.
That would have been a great Santo
Just
match
putting
to
it
watch.
out there.
Towards the end, Santos Escobar hits the Phantom Driver and pins Dragon Lee for the win. We'll start with Shay. Shay, what are your thoughts on the match? I was starting to sound like Christian Horner there.
I was expecting
Max, that was a great race, Max.
I was expecting a bit more from this match, being two high flyers. There were a couple of good spots, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, being Dragon's debut match, and Santos is, okay in the ring at
I
best.
didn't realise that was debut. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I mean, they should have stuck with having Carlito in the match in the first place. I don't know why they ended up pulling him last second anyway, and having him doing injury angle.
Dad killed Bruiser Brody.
I'll give it a 2-star. It was unfortunately disappointing.
JB?
I want Carlito. I don't know who Dragon Lee is.
Do you want to spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool?
I wish I knew what the actual story was. He must have got hurt.
So what? The storyline was that Rey Mysterio is actually hurt, and Santos turned on him, and then Carlito jumped in because he was gonna defend Rey Mysterio, and he got beaten down, and Carlito for some reason wasn't on the show, so Dragon Lee got the match. I think it's probably more a storyline thing of we'll build Santos Escobar
As a bad guy.
and build Santos versus Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, right. I guess. I still want Carlito, though. That was alright. I mean, at least Santos Escobar looked a strong bad guy by the end.
Yeah.
So, 2 out of 5.
Shogo?
Very forgettable match. Okay, so put it this way: the promos were all leading up to Carlito versus whatever the fuck his name is.
Santos Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, Escobar. Jesus Christ, this match was incredibly forgettable. And the build-up was Carlito versus Escobar, and they gave us Dragon Lee versus Escobar. At no point during the promo did they say, "Oh, you know who's going to fight him instead? Dragon Lee."
The guy on debut.
Yeah.
Last second.
They did nothing to promote this guy. Who the fuck is this guy?
Well, he was really big in Mexico, and then he came up to NXT, and he was only in NXT for, 3 months?
He's big in Mexico. This is Australia, mate. Oh, wait, this
It's
Chicago.
Chicago.
He was on one of the biggest shows ever last year in AEW.
Well,
Just saying.
I'm just saying, I have no idea who this guy is. They did zero things to build him up.
I gave him 5 stars, just saying.
Literally
It's
just
on you.
dropped him on us last second.
Yeah,
on debut.
I could not get into this, and it wasn't due to the match being, or put it this way, the match was unmemorable. I think I fell asleep through half of it. Sorry, Mr. Dragon Ree, but I cannot get into this. I give it 2 stars. Give us Carlito, for fuck's sake.
So, how many stars?
I just said 2, right? Did I say 2?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
So, I was taking notes. So, Tim.
Look, Dragon Lee has some history. Look, it was a mediocre match that really were at Survivor Series. It should have been a 5-on-5, and it should have probably been a time to bring in all your under 200-pounders and do your light heavyweight lucha spectacular. And we could have had an amazing event, and we could have actually brought in some of the young guns from NXT or any of the little promotions. They might even be. It would have been a prime time to bring anyone else in. Agree with probably a 2.5-star match. It was a mediocre match. Would have been great to see a much bigger spectacle when you've got some great high flyers in a match. Absolutely.
So my thoughts on the match. See if you can rinse and repeat this. It was a solid match, but and with some solid spots. But I actually found the story was quite lacking. For me, this was a SmackDown at best match. This should have been on SmackDown, not on pay-per-view or premium live event.
Does it irk everyone else that Survivor Series went the whole pay-per-view without a traditional Survivor Series match?
Yes.
Yeah, but they did the same thing last year too.
And don't get me wrong, that could have been a 5-man on Thursday night in the War Games cell as the promo. That would be in the big mega high flyer, and you throw 10 no names in there that just are going to bump and
The LWA
go
boys
crazy.
and whoever else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It would have been a great spectacle, and then you have everyone run in. Everyone, it would have been a great way to end SmackDown, but certainly not.
Hell, they had
third match of the pay-per-view.
they had Tozawa in the building, didn't they? Why didn't he go in?
1,000%.
Because he's got the comedy spot with R-Truth, who returned as well.
Actually,
yeah. We missed that spot. Hey, Phil, we're talking about, we're going through number by number. I'm pretty sure there was a Ruffles spot before any of these events.
Absolutely.
That was one of the greatest things I've seen on WWE history. Just saying,
Hey, screw the other returns. Fucking R-Truth returning. That's fucking top
Yeah,
tier right there.
Backlund.
Oh yeah, totally. And R-Truth, seriously, the guy hasn't aged. We haven't seen him in, 30 years, and he hasn't aged a day.
He's over
Hey, look,
50
it's Ken
and he
Quick,
looks
I
like
mean,
he's
R-Truth.
20 still.
It boggles my mind that K-Quick is our truth.
No way.
As a throwback for you.
No way.
Yeah, K-Quick is our truth. Oh, you fucking...
I'm
Don't
fucking
get me wrong, I love R-Truth fucking running anytime. Like, hey, I would pay for him to just run into my life every time, but fuck me. For a Ruffles ad.
Here's one. Did you know that Big T, who was Booker T's replacement
Big
in
T.
Harlem
Who?
Heat 2000,
Who?
was Ahmed Johnson?
Yeah, Pearl River Plunge is the name of his career. Anyway, let's keep going.
So, I gave the match a 2. And look, Dragon Lee, he's solid in the ring. I've seen him before, but I've never thought anything of Santos Escobar, and this has not changed my opinion of him. This
I'm
should
just
have been
more mad at Dragon Lee because they promised us Carlito.
Yeah.
Look,
And they haven't explained, they didn't explain it at all, why Carlito wasn't there.
yeah, but the simple fact is, I really don't give a shit about this storyline. Like, I honestly, and this is going to sound really horrible, I really want Rey Mysterio to just fuck off and retire. I'm really sick of him.
It won't be long.
You know, I want him to fuck off. Carlito, yay, Carlito's back, whoop-de-doo. And you've got the former LWO guys that are probably going to reform Legados del Santos or whatever it was called. And even in NXT, I didn't give a shit. So this is just,
Rey Mysterio will probably retire once he's had his 20th surgery in his left knee.
He is having surgery in his knee.
He has
What-
to beat Dom first, though.
Yeah, Dominic Guerrero, huh?
But look, this match just it was there. It was meh.
It was really nothing.
Yeah,
Should have been pre-show.
it should have been on
If
SmackDown.
anything. Oh, exactly. It shouldn't.
Okay.
It's a Survivor Series. We want multi-man matches.
You know, these two.
It should be overbooked. That's the other, I think we
these
were
two-
chatting about it. Someone said something about you can't overbook a pay-per-view, and it's like, but this is the one that should be overbooked to a degree where it's
Survivor Series was
It's
always
Survivor
part of the
Series.
Big
It's-
Four.
throw every person, even your jobbers
Series.
out there. Hey, we've had, Jerry Lawler and the midgets versus, Shawn Michaels and his midgets. We can do whatever the fuck we want at Survivor Series. It really should have just been all multi-mans. And this could have been a big spot fest and been something spectacular that might have got a 5-star in Japan from Dave,
Please bring back Brian Panty's
But
matches.
here's my question. All right, these two have got a match. LA Knight, the hottest in terms of pop,
Wasn't on the card.
was not on the card.
Who?
LA Knight. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dummy.
Dummy. Yeah.
Anyway,
He wasn't on the card.
Roman Reigns wasn't on the card either.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
he's
no,
literally
but
the
honestly,
love
I
of
would have had Roman at least in the crowd
back.
or something, or in the exactly. That's you spend 3 minutes on Ruffles' bowl of chips being spilt, and you don't put probably the only known name in your company on TV. Yeah, cool.
All right. So moving on is the Women's World Championship between the champion Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark, the challenger. And after a fairly hard-hitting match, like they were hitting some stuff. Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide, got the pinfall, got the win, retains the Women's World Championship. God, that title belt's name is a mouthful. I'm going to start with JB.
Yeah, it was a solid match, actually. I like watching Rhea wrestle. She goes hard. And she's not afraid to get physical either, which is great.
I get hard when she wrestles.
Yeah, so do we all. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I think it made Rhea look... Who was her opponent again?
Zoe Stark.
Zoe Stark, yeah, she looked good. It made her look legitimate, at least as a challenger, even though you knew Rhea was always going to retain, but I think she was challenged in the way that Miz challenged in his match as well. I think it was a good challenger going up against knowingly outmatched against the champion. but making a show of it until the champion eventually got their way. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had 3.5 out of 5. It was good.
Shogo?
Yeah, look, the match was pretty solid, but I just didn't find this really doing anything for me. Partially because who the fuck is this chick that Rhea Ripley's?
She's an up-and-comer.
Zoe Stark, she just came up from
Next.
NXT. She was introduced on the main roster as a tag partner for Trish Stratus.
Oh, okay. That's
Where
cool.
was Trish?
Yeah, where was Trish?
Trish is retired.
Yeah, she retired now.
Yeah, still.
No, but
How
in
can
the
you
corner
introduce-
would have been amazing.
How
That
can
would
you
have
introduce
sold.
her as a tag partner for someone who's retired?
Because at the time, Trish was in a feud with Becky Lynch.
And she was with Lita before that.
But at one of the big four, just throwing out some extra star power
She could
wouldn't
have
hurt.
just been a manager.
Yeah.
Her walking out or just being anything would
she
have.
was for a while with her.
But I mean, at the big four pay-per-view.
Oh, at them. Yeah.
where it's like just
They
bring
really
her
dropped
out.
the ball on this bad,
Yeah,
didn't they?
yeah, they really
They
did.
really
Timekeeper.
dropped the ball on
Look,
this.
look, put it this way. I've been like in and out of the loop when it comes to wrestling. I have no idea who this Zoe Stark chick is.
Same.
So I, really couldn't give a shit. Had Trish Stratus been there, I would have been like, oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, Trish's protege. Awesome. I get it now.
Awesome.
I don't need
Now
any
I
build-up.
understand.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Now I'm probably going to half cheer for you because,
Yes,
you're
and
being
so with
mentored
Trish
by the
Stratus.
next generation against the big monster champion.
the other problem I have with this is I've known Rhea Ripley to be, this powerhouse of a chick who's meant to be really, really dominant. She is not that in this match. I'm thinking, what happened to the dominant Rhea Ripley that I knew? Like she's sort of losing to this chick that's, about her size, who's meant to be more dominant than her or something. That doesn't make sense to me.
That's more so they were trying to bump Zoe to be more of a power. Like she's meant to be kind of a powerhouse, not as big as Rhea, but she's small but powerful.
Yeah.
It's kind of what they're trying to push her as, to try and put up a fight against Rhea because it's a first, big match coming out.
Yeah.
So I see what they're trying to do there, but
See, it made sense when it was Hogan versus Bundy. Hogan's winning. Bundy's being fed to him, but he seems like a competitor.
Yeah.
And you go, holy shit, Hogan might lose tonight.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
It didn't feel
Yeah, it's
like,
not
oh,
that.
this is someone that's going to beat this person.
In the same way, Miz was never beating Gunther.
Kind of,
Yeah.
absolutely. But he
Even though
knew his
got,
role,
even though
I
he
guess.
got close.
Yeah.
This was Zoe. She's not losing to Rhea, but at least she made it look good.
at least with Miz, there's that element of he can fight dirty and maybe get a win that way. There's nothing like that.
Yeah,
Which he
it could
did, which
turn-
we
exactly.
expected, which he did. But we also knew he wasn't going to win.
Or
the
there's a
belt.
history there enough that even a casual fan will know
Exactly.
that Orton's going to pull something out of his pocket, even though he did. That's what you expect. Yeah.
But yeah, look, had they have put Trish Stratus in, I could have probably gotten behind this match. But
Yeah,
honestly,
Absolutely.
You'd like to get behind Trish Stratus.
hey,
I'd get behind anything she does.
hey,
Oh, in front, too. The view's not bad from the front either.
All four sides.
Yeah, it's complete 360-degree view.
Trish, please marry me.
Too late for that.
I know it's too late. Look, I give it 2.5 stars out of 5.
Tim?
Yeah, look, basically everything's been covered on this one. It was pretty mediocre. I would probably even go with 2. Like, this was one of my diary breaks, I'm pretty sure.
One of many.
Oh, one of many, but most of them were done in the preview, pre-show, as in between matches. This was one that I was like, eh. And as I popped my head in and looked, it didn't do anything for me. So yeah, I'll go with 2. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't a botch fest. It was what should be on Superstars. Is probably what I would say.
Ouch. That, goddamn.
Yeah.
Shotgun Saturday.
Yeah, no, not even so. No, as a 8-year-old watching Superstars, I would have gone, yeah. But yeah,
You watch Superstars?
Oh, yeah. Hey, we're in Australia. We do not get
Put it on
everything
Sunday Night
live.
Heat. Put it on Sunday Night Heat. Shay.
This match was one of Rhea's weaker matches, definitely, which is a shame because I do like Zoe and I really like fucking Rhea, which is just amazing. But it was definitely a weaker match. I'll give it a 3 only because Rhea was in the match.
Well, I gave it a 3 as well, and see if we've heard these words before. It was a solid match. A couple of interesting spots, but nothing really stood out. And I think I spent most of the match trying to perv down Rhea Ripley's top.
Look,
be-
there's
to
always
be
a silver
honest-
lining to some of this shit.
And like I spent half the match explaining to Tim the origin of the movie Cyborg, so my interest really wasn't in there. But what I did see had potential, but it just couldn't get out of second gear. It just, it just,
Yeah.
That's all it did. But I still gave it a 3 because at its core it had something. It was really an unfinished, unpolished diamond. It's a diamond in the rough. Rhea Ripley is capable of better than this. And I know Zoe Stark is capable of more of this. So you kind of expect more out of them. But it was still better than the Dragon Lee Santos Escobar match.
It seemed like they're autopiloting a lot of that match.
Yeah. It was
This whole pay-per-view was autopiloting. Everyone left money on the table. Everyone.
Hey, there's that phrase you like.
It's
using.
like everyone was just looking past the pay-per-view.
No, they
It's like
took
we're going-
all
it's
the
like we're-
Ruffles money. The money was not left on the table.
And
Ruffles
Slim
put
Jims.
all the money out there, and they took it and they went, let's just put on a show for Ruffles.
Except they threw it on the ground. That's what they think of their product.
They left money on the table.
Like they were just so focused on let's just get to Raw tomorrow because fuck tonight, obviously. It's like they forgot it was a pay-per-view.
No, we know. I'm not going to spoil, but we know what they were all pushing.
Yes.
There was one pop of the night was all they gave a fuck about, which I'm not paying $1,000 for a front row ticket just for a 30-second pop with no match. But anyway, let's keep going.
I'll
Sorry.
talk more about that
Let's
later
keep
about,
going.
what I've been reading about that.
Right, the next match was the main event, the men's War Games match. The team of Judgment Day, which was Damian Priest, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio, teaming with Drew McIntyre to take on Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, and the returning Randy Orton. So the match started with Seth versus Finn, and eventually JD McDonough joined the match. Jey Uso joined the match. Damian Priest joined the match. Sami Zayn, Drew, Cody Rhodes, Dominic Mysterio, and then when we thought Randy Orton was going to be joining the match, despite the fact he didn't even come out and sit in the cage, Rhea Ripley came out with the briefcase, with Damian Priest's Money in the Bank briefcase, and looked like they were going to cash in, and then Randy Orton came out to a huge pop. But after fucking about for a few minutes, JD McDonough took a huge RKO where he got thrown off the middle of the cage, and Randy Orton caught him with an RKO, and then Randy fed him to Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes hit the crossroads on JD McDonough, and the team of Cody, Randy, Sammy, Jay, and Seth won via pinfall.
There's a nice nod to Legacy there.
Twas. There was also a bull rope in there.
For some reason.
No reason.
Why not?
Oh, God.
So I'm going to start with Tim. Give us your thoughts, Tim.
Okay, brace yourselves.
No, look, it was a match. It was a match.
Fancy that.
No, the bull rope, holy crap, we're not in Texas, and if we're building to a bull rope match between Cody and, who was it? Bloody Seth. Look, that's great, but we didn't need to see the bull rope come out of nowhere. Anyway, so that was a bit silly. Look, it was a fine match. It just didn't have main event written on it. Randy Orton as a surprise turn up was awesome. Definitely on Hulk Hogan's vitamins.
Gunther needs to get in contact
That's what I'm
with Randy.
saying. Orton's back, so clearly Gunter's going to get big.
Gunther's going to have to be like, where did you get that?
Fucking A, NWO for life, brother.
Hook a brother up.
Like, it's, yeah, go see Brother Brunei. He'll fucking hook you up because he's holding my shit. Anyway. But, look, it was great to see him turn up. Why the hell they done anything with the Money in the Bank leading in it? Like, if anything, it would have made sense for Orton or the match to end as it did, and then Orton will run out and grab the case off that lady and go, I've just stolen it, and I'm now the money. Like, why do we have a Money in the Bank? Oh, they're going to cash it in just for some random to turn up and nothing, and then she disappears. Money in the Bank disappears. Why even show it? Don't bother unless Orton was going to go, I'm taking that on my way. Actually, on his way in, he should have slapped her, grabbed the case, knocked someone out. 1, 2, 3 would have been freaking amazing. Set up whatever they're going to do in the future. And, you know, but it just seemed like they were kind of overbooking. Like, I won't again spoil the true ending, but as in they were clearly trying to overbook it. They were trying to, is he going to win it because he's going to get the Money in the Bank claim and he's going to get his title win? Oh, but the Randy Orton music played, but someone else is going to come out, which we're all waiting for, otherwise the crowd's going to revolt. No, it's just revolting. It really just felt overbooked for no reason, with no... Again, as someone who doesn't follow every word current day shows, it really just felt like a bit of a meh, let's throw everyone together. You know, hey, I go back to Survivor Series where you've got, you know, you've got so many different times where you have the main event and we know that it's going to be Macho versus Hogan. It doesn't matter about the other three. It doesn't matter about the other whatever else is going on around it. This one just felt like who cares about... Again, why wasn't Roman there? Why wasn't Brock there? Why wasn't any of your big names? Yes, Seth's a guy. Like, you had some people there, but it just didn't feel like a big event. So I gave it probably a 3.5. It was probably the best match of the night for everything in it, but it just didn't have the feeling for me. That's for sure. It certainly lost it.
Yeah.
Shogo?
Okay, so where do I begin?
At the beginning.
Okay, first of all, Rhea Ripley showing up for Money in the Bank. Why?
Yeah.
Because Damian Priest is the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but it makes no sense that she rocked up with the Money in the Bank.
Why wasn't Damian Priest side of stage for Rhea Ripley's match? That would have just made sense. As an outsider that doesn't necessarily know everything about the current day product, I would sit there and go, hey, he's there representing her, and now she's come out representing him. That just is simple logic.
Well, not only that, but the fact that she brought in the suitcase, like the briefcase, and it's almost like she's acting like she's cashing it in. There's no belt on the line. Why?
Yeah. What would happen?
Because Seth Rollins is the heavyweight champion, so he could claim it, beat him in the match to become world heavyweight champion, and Rhea is a part of Judgment Day as well.
Yeah, well...
Can I blow the secret? Can I just blow it?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. All right, come back to me, and I'll probably forget it because I'm slightly drunk. But just come back to me first for blowing the secret, because that... And I'll ask everyone, it's about why did the Money in the Bank come out and not get cashed in? Come back to me later. Anyway, thank you. Sorry.
I know exactly what you're going to answer that too.
Okay. Well, anyway...
And you're right.
Anyway, just to me, it made no sense. The fact that she's not...
Yep.
She's not Mr. Money in the Bank. Why did she bring out the briefcase? Why did she want to cash it in? And here I am, thinking, scratching my head, and it was all just a ploy because, haha, the real surprise is Randy Orton's here.
She wasn't cashing it in for her.
I know that now, but
She was cashing it in for Damian Priest because Seth Rollins is World Heavyweight Champion.
I know that.
And he had just gone through a table. And Damian Priest was about to pin him.
Oh, for
But it
fuck's
would
sake,
have made sense if Damian Priest came out with her in her match literally 10 minutes earlier, holding up the Money in the Bank briefcase
Yeah.
as in, I'm the guy. Hey, I don't know who's the...
That was a spot for everyone who's
that-
watched Raw and SmackDown every week.
That's
Yeah.
called foreshadowing, and it just seemed like she was cashing it in for her. There was no,
But she can't.
I know that. it just to me it just made no sense.
What
But-
doesn't
It was
make
just-
sense
it was
is your
distraction.
logic at this point. Sitting there saying that she's cashing it in on Seth Rollins for her.
No, yeah,
when
that's
she can't cash it in because
Well,
it's
I
the
know
men's
that-
Money in the Bank.
I know that now. I know that now because you are telling me this now.
All right,
Yeah,
keep
for a
going.
person that hasn't watched it at all, I see where Shogo's coming from. But for like Phil, Johnny, and myself who know what's going on there, it makes a lot of sense.
Thank
That's all.
Thank you.
Right, what's the score?
2.5. It was just look. There were some great spots in it, but ultimately it was just like a big head scratch for me. I just could not get into it.
Shay?
I quite enjoyed this match. It was my favourite of the night, mainly because Randy coming back got a massive pop and well deserved, and he's looking jacked as fuck. There's some pretty good nods to certain things in the past, like the legacy spot with Cody and Randy. Cody
And-
making that call back to say, Randy's going to be here, trust me, guys. Then that was the spot between Seth and Cody when they both pulled the bull rope, looking like they were going to go at each other because Seth said, I trusted you. Where the fuck is Randy? He's not here. That was kind of what that's leaning towards, and who knows? I haven't watched Raw yet, so there may have been some fallout from that. Saying
No, there wasn't.
there wasn't.
No, Drew McIntyre beat the shit out of Seth Rollins.
But my call now is 2025 WrestleMania main event. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes in a bull rope match. Just putting it out there.
No, because it's
Please,
going to be
Lord God.
it's going to be Cody versus Roman again for the belt.
No. Roman will lose it before. I'm just putting it out there. This is my prediction, sir.
Let the librarian predict.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. The draping DDTs across the middle of the match is a pretty unique spot, which I haven't really seen before. It's quite nice. I'll give it a 4. Not the best match, but not the worst.
JB?
3.5 out of 5. It was a good match. It was a solid match, but this whole match and this whole pay-per-view were building up to 2 pops.
2?
Yep. The one, and then the real one. The one that was announced, and the one that wasn't announced.
What? R-Truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, R-Truth got a pretty big pop.
Yeah, people were
I
actually.
did
really
actually
excited.
say at the time, why did they not announce Randy Orton? Why did Randy Orton just not become the surprise 5th? It's like, oh no, it's 5-on-4 and Seth's getting bashed and then la la la, and then Randy Orton comes out of nowhere as the 5th member. That would have been way better.
I'll tell you that exact reason a bit later.
All right, and then the real thing happened afterwards.
Right. I gave the match a 4. I thought it was the best match of the night. It told a fairly good story. I think that the bull rope spot was designed for the next pay-per-view where it's going to be Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes in a bull rope match. I think
Really?
that's where they're going with it.
No way.
Waste of a
But-
bull rope match.
But because they've been feuding for a couple of months now, so it's
It's not
the-
a cage match.
yeah, but it's a payoff. It's some kind of a payoff. I know. But yeah, Drew belted up Seth Rollins and wants a title shot at the next PLE. So that's where that one's going.
Just the Royal Rumble.
But look, it was a fairly solid match. It was pretty entertaining for the most part, but it really was there to
Bridge.
to push Randy Orton's return. Really, that was the agenda. Was Randy Orton's back?
Honestly, that's how I would have ended the night with Randy Orton's return, and it would have been huge, and it would actually have been memorable. And what you're going to talk about should have happened probably on Raw,
Yep.
maybe,
Or the
next pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Just
fucking Royal Rumble.
pay the fuck
There.
up to sit at home.
Dude, Royal Rumble.
Anyway, just saying.
Well, I can understand why the next thing happened because they were in Chicago. But, well, we've
Waste.
done the scores for those matches, so we might as well spill it. Straight after the match,
Wait.
We're sending it to the librarian.
Spoiler alert for those not interested in spoilers and whatnot. Tune out now.
the
and
fuck spoilers? It's fucking 4 days after. We've been spoiled.
We got
before
spoiled
even
before I
got
even
in.
got to watch the event.
Do that.
Look, I'm just saying.
Hey, and if the listening does, they've already watched it.
That's it.
Wrestling fans are not going to, not watch the event. What wrestling fan is going to listen to us? It's like, I'm not going to watch Survivor Series until I've listened to the dulcet tones of these 5 idiots in a basement.
Actually, no, your voice is doing it for me right now. Just saying.
It's like, for God's sake, I can't wait to get JB's opinion on this before I watch Survivor Series.
If I could just get you, Johnny, to describe every event to me, I think I would never watch wrestling again. And I would just take those,
Yeah, my
those
missus
updates.
gets a kick out of listening to you. So.
That's great to hear.
Oh,
All right,
Jesus
all
Christ.
right, let's drop the
Enough with the bashing already. Just fuck's sake. All right.
Pepsi Man turned up. Fuck.
drop the puck.
All right.
Drop the
He
puck,
happened.
boy.
He
That's
happened.
yeah, CM Punk returned to WWE after he got fired from AEW.
After he got fired from WWE, after he just hasn't
no,
been good for the last 25
He
years.
quit
But anyway,
WWE 10
Oh, that's
years
right,
ago.
to be a fucking MMA guy, and the MMA company just bought WWE, and both of them go, fuck you, guy. Just saying. You didn't draw for any of us, but that's cool. You drew bigger for Ring of Honor. Holy fuck. Like, let's just put it out there. Fucking CM Punk in Ring of Honor was the biggest thing that ever happened to Ring of Honor. Second he got to NXT, fucking... Like, fuck him. I'm just sorry. The fact that people even call it a pipe, it's a fucking promo. Fuck you and your pipe bomb. Fuck you and your ice cream bars. Fuck you. Everyone has a go at fucking all these old dudes for having gimmick bags and making money. Virgil out front of fucking every shop looking for his meat sauce, looking for a signature. He'll fucking slap you for not paying him $20 for a signature. I got more respect for fucking Virgil. But just in saying that, CM Punk probably should have just come in, grabbed the money in the bank, gone, fuck you, and walked out. And that's all he should have done. And we shouldn't have seen him for 6 months. And it would have been fucking spectacular. Anyway, that's all I've got to say.
Oh, man.
And I think it was like 10-star in Japan. If it happened in Japan, it was 10 stars. Just saying. But it happened in Chicago, so like 4.5 ice cream bars is what I rate it.
Your rant is poetry in motion, man.
Oh, it was fucking brilliant. So the main reason why a lot of the things happened in that match and the Money in the Bank wasn't cashed in and Randy's return, wasn't a surprise is because it would have detracted from CM Punk coming. That's 100% the reason why. And Tim, you'd agree with me there, yeah?
1,000%. That's
He pulled a Hulk Hogan.
Worse than a Hulk Hogan on Bret Hart. Like, fuck. At least Bret Hart got some salt in the fucking eyes. Holy shit. And there was, like, some good wrestlers in the ring. Fuck me. Yeah, no. It was horrendous. It was bad.
The funniest thing is, I've been reading people's reactions on it. They got more of a kick out of fucking R-Truth coming back than Punk and Orton.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, at least he can rap.
I can't
I know
argue
I feel
with
bad
that.
for Randy Orton.
Absolutely.
Like, he just got completely glossed over. He's been away for 18 months.
100%
Back injury.
The most overbooked main event in so long, because you had why did the Money Be in the Bank come out? And then all of a sudden Randy Orton come out. And then all of a sudden fucking the only thing we're all missing is fucking pull out Mae Young's fucking aborted hand, and it would have been a fucking...
It's a party.
It's a Hall of Fame ceremony. I don't
Wheel
know.
out Eddie Guerrero's corpse.
Exactly. Oh, fucking Benoit beaten fucking woman. I don't know. If woman comes back and gets her revenge, I've said it on air. It's all good.
Katie
I'm
Vick's-
friends with Ian
Katie
Rotten.
Vick's
It's okay.
coffin can roll down.
It's like you reach into that cookie jar so many times for returns on one night, and it just detracts from it. There's no point. The whole point is to get that massive pop, and you do it twice already.
Yeah.
3 times trying to, if you include the Money in the Bank attempt.
Only in Chicago.
Only in Chicago.
That's the only reason.
100%.
If it was anywhere else, none of that happens.
So as Tim's leaving the room,
He's at his rent, he's fucked off.
He's done.
Shit. If it was anything else, it would be Ric Flair's retirement match in AEW. Like, it's basically the same shit. Anyone out there in internet land getting angry at Ric Flair for turning up in AEW and taking fucking rich man's money, get angry at fucking Pepsi Man for turning up and taking rich man's money. Because they're not going to make him fight a real fight. They're going to do a couple of pipe bombs and they'll sell some shirts, a couple of Pepsi sticker tattoos.
Richer man's money.
Well, conglomerates money.
Conglomerates money, that's better. Rich man's money to conglomerates money. Evolving.
Oh, Christ.
Stepping
why
up.
do I feel like I'm the complete anti Tim right now? Because
Because you've always marked for CM Punk. I have too.
yeah.
I just don't know where he
and
goes.
I do
from
want to buy one of his shirts.
Where does he go from here, though? He's not going to beat Roman Reigns for a belt. They might put him in. The only thing they can do now is feud him with Seth Rollins right now.
Yeah, that's going to
While
go
it's
down
hot.
But they don't have
really,
a Drew.
really well.
Drew's already doing that.
They have to do it now, or else what's the point?
Or, well, we've always sat there and wondered who's going to win the Royal Rumble next year.
No.
CM Punk is not winning the Royal Rumble.
No,
Please,
fuck it.
for the love of God,
Because
no.
you can't get Cody to win the Royal Rumble again and challenge Roman Reigns again, because then it's going to be the
You
same
can't
thing
take a finish the
again.
story.
No, but
But
what,
we know he's going to win this time.
but what Cody can do is go to Perth and win the Elimination Chamber and get a crack at Roman Reigns at WrestleMania that way.
Yeah.
Because CM Punk will win the Royal Rumble,
And Seth.
challenge Seth.
Or Drew, depending who wins.
It'll be Seth,
But-
hopefully.
It'll be Seth.
Yeah, CM Punk returned. I was like, holy Christ, that's awesome, blah, 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 blah. Because I never thought it would happen. I never thought he would go back to WWE. I never thought WWE would say, come on back.
As Triple H said, it was a cold down hell.
Because of what happened when he got the boot from AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. But we also know that earlier in the year, while he was still under contract to AEW, CM Punk went to an episode of Monday Night Raw to talk to Trips. He wanted to make peace with Vince. He made peace with Miz that night and a few other people that were a bit angry at him. Clearly, he didn't talk to Drew or Seth, though.
They seemed a bit non-pleased about
Well,
his
as
return.
soon as the match was over, the War Games match, Drew, he stormed off from ringside.
A
went
cameraman
straight out.
told him to go. There's a photo of the cameraman tapped him and told him to get to the back or get out of wherever.
And so he went straight out back, grabbed him and his stuff, and just fucked off out of the arena. Seth got out of the cage and was sitting there swearing and cursing at CM Punk while CM Punk's carrying on with the fans. And there's footage of Seth Rollins yelling at him. He's like, get the fuck out of here, you're not fucking wanted. And Michael Cole and Corey Graves have come off commentary and come around and have actually tried to calm him down. That's how I know it's a fucking shoot and not a work.
Look, if I was booking it, I would have they overbooked it. If I got told you've got to do what's already laid out, but you can add anything to it, I would have just ultra booked it and then had Colt Cabana come out at the very end and just give a big middle finger and walk
Oh
away.
my god.
And it would be fucking amazing. Just saying.
But the thing is that
Hey,
you got
Colt.
Seth Rollins sitting there flipping him off and saying, if he's out the back, he better fuck off or else rah, 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 rah. So, and then the irony is, the last match on Raw today was Seth Rollins versus someone, and Drew came out and belted the fuck out of him, and then CM Punk came out and cut a promo after they left. So would have had to have
Pipebomb. Get it right. Pipebomb.
It wasn't a pipe bomb. It was him just buttering up the crowd. You know? But because he said it was nice to be home again and all this stuff, so he's buttering up the people. But it's
Cheap.
yeah, it's the cheap pop. Yeah. But it certainly raises more questions on where we're going with the Royal Rumble, with WrestleMania, with titles and things like that. So it's fairly interesting.
I think I brought it up earlier while we were watching it. The problem today is there's no one that has truly transcended past where we're at. And CM Punk, isn't it? Yes, to the diehard fans, to the whatever, you know, yep, he's controversy. He's the, you know, hey, that was Cash makes controversy. Bloody Eric Bischoff's fucking...
Cena to an extent.
That's sort of what he's done. I'll give him credit for that. And everyone who uses him knows that's the only way to use him. Have him come in because it's controversial. You know, I'm amazed he didn't turn up at every little side event leading up to this just to prove that he can. But, yeah, it's sad.
Right, so we're going to move on from this. We're going to get to how many cheese graters we're going to give the pay-per-view. So we'll start with Shogo, the man who coined the phrase. How many cheese graters out of 5 are you going to give it, Shokes?
2.5, and I think the only reason I coined it was because of, was it Bubba Ray Dudley using a cheese grater
Yes.
in ECW?
My
Yes.
balls.
Cheese grater on your balls. Yay.
JB?
2.5. You know, this Survivor Series was part of the Big Four at one point, but now they got it in their head that they need to have the War Games element. The whole pay-per-view was flat. Like, every match was missing something.
Yeah.
And the only saving grace to anyone's hashtagging Survivor Series on X is because of Punk.
Yeah.
That's it. Or else this pay-per-view would have no traction whatsoever.
Tim?
Yeah, agreed. It as someone who will like I certainly keep up with what's going on, but I don't watch religiously anymore. Certainly not WWE product. It was edgy for edgy's sake, but exactly what Johnny said. It was flat. It just didn't feel like a Survivor Series. You know, again, going back 20 years, 30 years ago, felt like a spectacle where, again, Hulk Hogan's teaming up with the natural disasters, and it's going to be something special. Whereas this just felt like a bit of a mishmash of nobodies, and then a couple of singles matches on top. I give it, you know, fuck, if we're going cheese graters, I can't really, you know, give them any. Like that's a necro butcher sort of thing. So I'll give it maybe 3 hypodermic needles just to get back to El Santo.
AIDS-ridden
AIDS-riddled needles.
or sterile.
We're going back to... Oh, El Santo wasn't on the show, just saying. But it was close enough to a couple of hypodermic
El
needles.
Santo wasn't on the show,
That
but
might have had AIDS.
Escobar was.
It was 3 Chris Benoit telephone cables.
Man, actually, going back to that, how the hell did NWA get in trouble for Sinister Minister, like one of the nicest people I've ever frickin' met, potentially insinuating snorting some cocaine, and you've got bloody Pablo Escobar on your fucking primetime TV? I'm sorry, anyone who got angry at the NWA is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And also, I agree with that a hungry person will run across the desert, and if someone's really angry, they're going to fight them for it, and they're a good fighter. Sorry, that's just a little too inside.
Shay.
That's what he's here for.
I'll give it a 3. It was as everyone said, it was a really mediocre pay-per-view, unfortunately, being one of the big 4, supposedly. You know, there was, sure, a lot of elements of surprise towards the end of the pay-per-view, but...
Assuming you watched it live and hadn't had it spoiled
exactly
3 days before, there was a lot of elements of surprise.
They had them way too close together, in my opinion. Like, they needed to either spread the surprises out or spread them out over days, not have them all in the same fucking pay-per-view. Because then it just detracts from each other, as I said before. Like, Punk coming in, sure, that's cool. You know, it's a big thing, especially in Chicago. But having Orton there and knowing Orton was coming, I mean, what's the fucking point then? You just have 2 returns on the same night? Why bother?
Yeah.
You know, the only time I find that acceptable is Royal Rumble, because it's the fucking Royal Rumble. That's kind
The
of
last
expected.
time that worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember when Triple H? Remember the Undertaker was teasing his comeback, and on Raw, and he came back. He had the countdown. Then he finally came back, and then out of nowhere, Triple H came back from his injury, and that's how they set up WrestleMania.
That was an acceptable version of
Didn't say a single word. Just stared at each other, looked at the WrestleMania sign, and walked off.
And people lost.
That
their
is the last
fucking
time
mind.
I remember a double comeback that good, because this was
Yep.
not it.
Can I just clarify something though with that Taker return and Taker versus Triple H thing? And now they had the countdown clock. You know that countdown clock was actually meant for Sting.
Really?
Sting, they were very close to signing Sting.
Sting versus Taker.
No, it was still
Sting versus
going to be
Triple-
Sting versus Triple H because Taker wouldn't have a match with Sting. Taker always said there was no outcome of Taker versus Sting that would benefit either character. To which I actually do agree with him, because it's like, well, one of them's going to get hurt by their character's mystique is going to get hurt by having this match.
That's fair.
So I do agree with it. I know the internet's like, oh, but we really want to see that match. But you've got 2 characters that, where you've got, you know, the Taker and you've got, you know, Crow Sting. And they've both got this mystique. No one comes out of this alive.
Yeah, there's no winners.
There's no winner.
5 best. That becomes a 3-year, 5-year, and then that gets you into retirement. Like, it shouldn't be not done because it's because of that. Like, everyone loses. Taker lost 1,000,000 times. He didn't at WrestleMania, but every other pay-per-view, not every other, obviously, but you know what I mean. Hogan lost. Like, people lost. Like, that's probably the biggest problem today is they don't build like they used to do. Like,
And his name is Roman Reigns.
yeah, non-title match losses. Like, Hogan lost 1,000,000 matches as the champion, just non-title matches. Of course, title matches he won every one, and he'd Hulk up, and he, you know, and whatever it, you know. And I'm just using Hulk. Go through the plethora of those sort of guys up until, you know, your late 90s, early 2000s, Attitude Era, end of the Aggression Era. You know, we lost that. We lost that drive of someone actually being the top guy.
Yeah.
It's gone. There's great guys. Brock's been a great fill-in. Roman's great, but they just haven't done it done it properly.
They haven't given him someone comparable to him other than Cody. Cody was the perfect opportunity for him to drop that title, and they didn't do it.
Absolutely. Hey, Cody was the right one to do it.
Absolutely.
Probably even 10 years ago when Dusty was still around, and you could have actually capitalized on him being the manager just for his first run, which would have set him up for life, but they kept him as a jobber in Stardust for years. So,
Yeah. At least they did that with his brother. They did that kind of... whole
well,
thing.
and Goldust nailed
good.
it and owned it, and I guess Stardust also, in the end, I actually prefer Stardust and Goldust. You know, that last late run of Cody Rhodes I've just been watching recently again. I poo-pooed it at the time. Holy crap, that's actually pretty spectacular.
Because there was emotion in it.
Yeah,
Can
it
you
was
imagine-
done real.
Can
It
you
was
imagine
right.
if Dusty Rhodes got in on that and called himself
That's what I'm saying.
Poker Dust?
If they had have done the AEW match that they done in the first year or whatever it was, the big bloody match
The Nightmare
between,
Family.
it would have been amazing. And you would have had Dusty as ring timekeeper in WWE. It would have been the greatest thing ever happened, but we missed that by a couple of years.
Right, so I'm going to give the entire pay-per-view 2.5 cheese graters out of 5. I liked the returns, all three of them. Truth, CM Punk, and Randy Orton. I like the men's War Games matches. And I actually liked the short run time of the pay-per-view.
Agreed.
It was
Oh,
under
yeah.
3 hours.
It was under 3 hours. It was
Yeah.
2 3/4.
the
Yeah.
way it should be.
As opposed to... I know, Shay, you're a bit of a AEW fan, but 5 fucking hours is too much.
Yeah, it's rough. It's
know.
fucking rough.
It really is. So
That's
like
why
that
you have
WrestleMania
heat.
that went for
That's why
6.
you have the pre-show. That's why you have
Yeah,
again.
split it up.
Everyone's got to get some FaceTime, but at the same time, it's the main show. You got 3 hours. We're going to fill it with quality. The first 2 hours can be Kai and Tai versus fucking whoever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Like, but that's still going to get me in the crowd. If I'm in the audience live, that's going to get me going. But watching at home, I don't need to see it in the middle of the pay-per-view and it turns into a 5-hour pay-per-view.
That's exactly what for stuff like AEW, like for those long ones. I actually just see what I like and then just watch it from there.
Yeah.
I don't watch through the whole fucking thing.
Half
because
the event
fuck
could
that.
be just live streamed to YouTube and would get probably bigger numbers, just saying, because it's not on a network and you can just tune in.
They get less money.
But you can also put one ad in there.
You get
and,
advertisement
hey,
money if you do it that way, too.
It works for, all these other YouTubers chucking a couple of ads in you. Just saying. I don't know.
Ruffles need selling, boys.
Exactly. Follow what WWE do and do a little skit in the middle, I guess. But hey, you've got to be noticed by anyone,
crisps
I
or
guess. Like Coca-Cola. There's a reason why AEW hasn't got Coca-Cola or crisps or any.
Hey, Tim, they crisps or chips?
Well,
Get fucked.
depends. Do you keep them in the fridge or not? That's a European thing. Oh shit.
Damn. This guy's chipped before.
Aren't Pretty Deadly Australian?
Pretty
Deadly.
Yes.
Yes, yes, they are.
Right. The negatives, though, were most of the matches had storylines that were lacking, and the matches had stories that were lacking inside the matches. And I thought the worst match of the night was Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Right, so that is our review of Survivor Series 2023. And to the best of my knowledge, this is going to be the last last podcast for this show for this year.
Yeah. Next one's Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
Royal
January.
Rumble?
It's after Australia Day.
Because Christ knows I need a break.
Yeah.
It
One more F1 potty, too, and then we can
yeah.
ditch it.
Because it's a lot of effort goes into not only recording these things but editing and making the video and uploading it and everything. So I need a break. So but on behalf of everyone, JB, Shogo, Tim,
Before we finish, I just want to give a quick little shout out and tell a quick little story that may annoy a lot of wrestling fans, but that's okay.
it wouldn't be the first time tonight that you've annoyed wrestling fans.
Probably. So it was about 6 months ago. I put some silly little post because I was a little bit depressed about having no money on Facebook. And literally within 2 minutes, I get a message from someone. You'd think it would be one of your friends, someone you know, whatever. It wasn't a scream for help, but
I'm sorry.
it looked like... No. It looked like it was, but it wasn't. Anyway. The first person who actually sent me a message was a man by the name of Ian Rotten. So I want to just put a big shout out. Ian's had a big lot of drama recently in the last 3 years. I know a lot of people in the industry absolutely hate this man. He has done if you believe the rumors, or I don't know, he has ripped off, he has done some very dastardly things, if you want to believe that. I just want to put it out there on the world of the internet that this man, Ian Rotten, was the first person to go, oi, what's your bank details? I'll send you $100. He did not know me from a bar of soap. I'd bought one autograph off him probably 5 years ago. Since then, we've had a great big chat. It was a bit sad when Terry died. Funk. We had a good time over. Oh, good time. A good time chatting over Terry Funk and whatnot. But I just want to put it out there. He's going to start IWA Mid-South again. Again, very controversial. I believe first show's in January. I just want to put it out there. I'm going to go on record saying Ian Rotten's not a bad person. I'm a big fan. Give me a Taipei death match any day of the week. Bring back Axel. Bring back Terry. Love you, Ian. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
This was not a paid advertisement.
Yeah, it was not paid.
Right, well, on behalf of...
He did give you $100.
So it was paid.
It was.
Schematics, mate.
But thank you to Shogo and Tim for coming in
Hey,
for
thanks,
this one.
thanks for having us, man.
Cheers, sir.
Hope you guys had fun and enjoyed
Always.
being on it.
Thank you, special guests.
Yeah. Hopefully regular cast members.
Hopefully.
Hey, yo.
You might see me at the next one.
And obviously JB Shea, the regulars, still here, and me. But on behalf of all the guys, including our other member, Chief, who he was here but he was feeling a bit unwell, so he's gone back home. But shout out to Chief.
Hope you feel better, dude.
On behalf of everyone from Stop the Damn Match, thank you for tuning in this year. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the show. Hope you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We will see you at the Royal Rumble next year, day after Australia Day.
Yes. We get a public holiday, so it'll be good.
Woohoo! So, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next year. Until then, it is goodbye.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.